Play for Patrick Mahomes. Yes, that was definitely a big play. A bunch of highlights in the background you're going to be hearing from all things the NFL because we are swiveling the spotlight over to the professional gridiron. Yes, the NFL is what we're going to be focused on. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am your host, Rizwan, on the air. I've got Shep with me. And Shep, let's get to it. It was a week of upsets in the NFL last week, man. Just so many games that went opposite of how you thought they would go. Um, the Cardinals and the Cowboys, right?
We were texting each other during that game.
How does that happen? It's Jacoby Brissett. I understand the Cowboys defense is a misnomer. I get it. But I thought it was going to be a shootout, and I thought the Cowboys would win going away in a very high-scoring game. Instead, it turns into a 27-17 victory by the Cardinals in Jerry's world. What happened there?
Deron Bland, who was on my opponent's fantasy team, by the way, what a genius plan. Have a DB who's going to get beat every play but still make the tackle 15 yards downfield. But I was sitting there, I was like, he doesn't need to score 28 points against me, and I'm fine. And at halftime, he had 12 or 13. I was getting really nervous.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is the Cowboys are awful personnel-wise on the defensive side of the ball, which is why they made that huge trade in the week to get Quinn Williams. And Jacoby Brissett actually understands an offense, and he can study a playbook and study film, unlike Kyler Murray, who originally they had that clause in his contract about, he has to study the playbook. So I think that Arizona has a decision to make, and it shouldn't be hard, which is to dump Murray.
I was about to say, I think this is the end of the rope for him.
It should be. Maybe he'll learn from this and learn how to study a playbook.
Yeah, I won't go
breakdown.
Yeah, I won't be as bold or as naive as to say it's the end of the rope for him in the NFL, but it should be the end of the rope in Arizona. I say that because the NFL has proven us over and over and over, proven us wrong, that they will continue to give a chance of a fourth, fifth, eighth chance for talent. And Kyler does have talent. He just doesn't have the skill because he's not interested in honing that skill. So yeah, I think it's definitely the end of the rope. It was surprising. My guy coming into I always you and I have been playing fantasy football long enough where I look, we all care about winning. I care about winning, but I might venture to say I care more about finding that diamond in the rough and owning and showing that, hey, I did this. I found this when the pundits were not on this, more so than winning. And my two guys coming into this season, Javonte Williams, whom I have on 4 of my 5 teams, and Jalen Warren, whom I have on 3 of my 5 teams. And Javonte finally had it wasn't a bad game, but a below average game. 15 carries, 83 yards, and that big fumble, which was, honestly, it wasn't his fault, right? A great defensive play by I don't think it was Buddha. I think it was one of the other Cardinal defenders who rips out the ball right before, while Javonte is airborne. His body was completely up in the air. He rips out the ball right before Javante's knee goes down. But ultimately, that's still a fumble loss. So 15 carries, 83 yards, a lost fumble, only 1 catch. So he finally had a not good game, maybe possibly a bad game. But yeah, it's just it was a weird game. I expected Prescott to Lamb to just absolutely eat up the Cardinals defense.
But they've got a pretty decent defense.
But this was the number one offense coming in.
It was. And they got chewed up, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Dallas has to score 30 points a game to have a chance of winning. They really do, because the game state's the only reason why Arizona didn't score more points last week.
Yeah,
because they had a couple score lead, and they kind of bled the clock away. Otherwise, they would have scored 35, 40, whatever they needed to do to win the game.
All right. Looks like this this game from Berlin is gonna go the Colts' way. I mean, we're not there yet, but Atlanta got the ball first. They got a 3-and-out.
Nothing.
Yep.
Penix made some horrible. He's so inconsistent for a guy who's 25, 26 years old. He's got to learn how to throw the ball. The Colts are already in field goal range. We'll see if they take any sacks.
Yeah.
Or there's Taylor dodging in the backfield. God almighty. But yes, if they make a very makeable field goal, the Colts will escape Berlin with a victory.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about
from last week.
Yeah. Let's talk about your guy from.
JJ McCarthy.
No. Drake May. May. You've been talking him up, and he again had a. So I must say, I think I was letting my bias get in the way. I'm sure for reasons very well known for the last 25 years. I have a deep disdain for the Patriots. But yeah, I see what you and a bunch of other folks have been saying. He looks the part, right? He looks poised. He looks like he knows what he's doing. And for a second-year guy, that's impressive. I mean, it pains me to admit, but yes, he looks pretty good. He's making the likes of Demario Douglas and Kevin Booty. Is it Boot or Booty?
I think it's Booty.
Okay. He's making the likes of those guys look like viable starters in the NFL. And I think that's more on Drake May than it is on those players. So yeah, I'm starting to realize this a little bit, and I'm inclined to hate the Patriots even more because they it's like the AFC equivalent of the Packers, right? Who go from Favre to Rodgers to Jordan Love, who like no franchise is supposed to have that type of luck.
No,
right?
And look, Love is not as good as the other two.
Yet.
But
he's their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And for a team to go from a 17-year run with a franchise quarterback to an 18-year run with a franchise quarterback, well, less than that, 14, 15, to now right away having their franchise quarterback again. Just it's painful, and it seems like
just walked in the end zone.
Another 3 touchdown game.
And over 200 yards.
244 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, at this point, I'm starting to think
6 fantasy points today.
Yeah. I'm glad I only had him on one of my teams until I picked him up on that guillotine league. So now I've got him on 2. But man, in this the team that I've got Jamar Chase on this team as well. My team is called Chasing Ridley because I was chasing Ridley. I really thought Ridley was going to be a thing. Yeah, that didn't happen. But luckily, in the second or third round, I think I picked up a receiver out of Seattle, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I've been riding in our league.
Yeah, so I've got Chase and Njigba, and my first 2 picks were Achan and Taylor. I can't remember in which order. So yeah, Chase on the on the bye. I put Sutton in as my other wide receiver. And how do you recover from Sutton getting you only 3 points? Have Jonathan Taylor on the team.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about 48.1 points from him in this one. And this is a league I can just stop looking at because right now I'm projected to win by 40 now. I just need to, in my guillotine league, because of Jonathan Taylor, now I am going to outscore the second highest team again, projections. But the second highest is at 106. I am sitting at 148 points. So 2 leagues taken care of. The other 3 I'm going to focus on. All right. Yes, I will begrudgingly give you Drake May looks the part, and I'm afraid that he is going to be a thing. So the Bills need to stop wasting these Josh Allen years. And they took a step.
They didn't do what they needed to do with the trade line. They needed to get him some receivers.
I know, man. I don't understand.
They beat the Chiefs. I didn't realize the Chiefs were going to be without their rookie left tackle. Otherwise, I would have flipped my pick on that game last week.
Mm-hmm.
But they only won by 7 at home. And if that game had gone another quarter, I would have bet the Chiefs would have won.
Yeah. I was shocked.
They got to get him somebody to throw to besides Dalton, Kincaid, and Shakir.
Yeah. I was shocked. I mean, maybe they're hoping that Palmer, when he gets back, he can be that guy, but he certainly hadn't shown us anything to indicate that he is going to be that guy in the first 4 weeks before he got hurt. So I don't know. That was weird. Especially, I think I texted you about this. Rashid Shaheed going for a fourth.
Yeah, nothing.
Right? I mean, you could have done that. I understand the apprehension around Chris Olave because of all the concussions that he suffers, and they don't want to spend a bunch of capital to bring him in. But I mean, here's a true wide receiver 1, still on a rookie contract for a year and a half, right? I think that was worth rolling the dice if you could get him for something less than a first.
Yeah, I do too, and the Saints are abysmal. Okay, and I don't know. I think that the Bills GM, he just seems to hate moving around assets to get wide receivers.
Yeah,
and he's trying to build the team because he's just assuming that Allen can perform miracles every game. Well, eventually the miracles run out in the playoffs because other teams can cover your dudes too well. And Allen's great, okay, but he does need somebody besides a tight end and a good number 2/number 3 wide receiver in the NFL to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I'm with you. So big win, but slightly deflating because they did not do what they needed to do with the trade deadline, with the number of receivers, with the talent of receivers being moved. I was very disappointed that they did not bring in any wideout help there. No. But hey, look. So one thing I want to say about Josh Allen. So, what is Josh Allen? What's his game? Big arm.
Yep.
Can read defenses pretty well, but can get out of jams, can avoid sacks and roll and find somebody downfield, or take off and make something happen with his feet. There was a quarterback. If I took the Josh Allen name out of it, and you go back to the 80s and the 90s. Can you think of a quarterback that did that?
In the 80s and 90s? I can think of one in the 90s in Steve Young. In the 80s.
How about the guy from Denver? John Elway. And he had a lot of playoff heartbreak. And then
near the end of his career, he was able to win.
What did he get?
A running game.
Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Could James Cook be Josh Allen's Terrell Davis?
He's not nearly as good as Terrell Davis.
He's not. But could he be Josh Allen's? I know this is going to sound like blasphemy, but I think Josh Allen is slightly better than John Elway. I think
Well, it's so tough because to compare across eras.
Yeah.
Well, because quarterbacks are just so much more protected now than they were when Elway was running around the league, losing Super Bowls to Montana. But I think that Manchester City's up 3-0. But I would, man, prime Elway versus prime Josh Allen. I would take Elway.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to start a comparison. What I'm saying is the similarities in the career trajectory, right? He's you can tell. So you could always tell Elway was the dude, right? Even when he was losing that 55-17 or whatever that was, 55-10 Laffer. You knew he was the dude. He just didn't have help.
No, he didn't. He got Terrell Davis. He got that great offensive line. And a defense good enough to win 2 straight Super Bowls and retire on top. It was like a storybook game.
And Shanahan's zone blocking scheme.
Yeah, which was brand new to the NFL at that time.
Which is what the Buffalo Bills have introduced this year. Joe Brady has brought that.
The Bills are a Super Bowl contender, but I hesitate to say they're a favorite for me just because of the wide receiver situation.
Yeah. I'm with you, but maybe this is I'm wearing too much of my fan hat instead of my analyst hat. But man, oh man, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at what Cook is doing, and I'm thinking, and I'm hoping, and I'm praying.
I will say this: I think that the Bills have a good shot because there's no dominant team in the AFC this year, unless the Ravens get hot and get everybody back.
Yeah,
because they've just been devastated by injury. But I still look, and I don't look at that Bills roster and say this is a Super Bowl winning roster. But they do have, I think, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, even though people will get mad at me for saying that.
No, I understand what you're saying. He is so right now. I think ultimately to support what you're saying, what it comes down to is there's generally in a league at a time, there are 3, 4, maybe 5 quarterbacks that you can say, push comes to shove, chips are down, this guy can make a play to win the Super Bowl. Right now that's Mahomes one, but then you start looking, it's Stafford.
Yep.
It's not Goff, right? It's Stafford.
I don't think Goff's a play action guy.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback, but he needs everything working around him.
But it's Josh.
What the Vikings showed last weekend.
Yep. But it's Josh Allen. I think even before Jalen Hurts, it's Josh Allen. And it's going to sound weird.
No, Allen's a far better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Allen can read his own defense.
Yeah. So I agree with you. He hasn't proven it yet. He has not, and maybe he never will. I hope he does, but maybe he never will. But talent-wise, chips are down. Here's this quarterback. He needs to make a play. I think Mahomes the only other guy who I would put ahead of him, and that I would do it based upon the history, not necessarily the talent.
The current, yeah.
He's built too much cachet, right? He's done too much in the playoffs to put anyone ahead of him, Mahomes. But I think he's the only guy I would put ahead of Josh Allen right now if the chips are down and I need a quarterback to make a play.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would agree. I also think that Lamar Jackson could be in the conversation, even though he hasn't done it in the playoffs yet. I've been pretty hard on him about that. Well, but last year he made the plays. He was just let down by his team.
Yes, but that was for the first time, right? Yeah. So, Josh, have you looked at his playoff stats? They're insane.
Yeah, no, he's done it for 3 or 4 years. That's why I put him above Lamar Jackson.
Just insane how much he has produced and how much his coach has let him down. His special teams has let him down. There's that 13-second game. There's the bad spot against the Chiefs last year. I mean, it's just over and over. But eventually, it is what it is. It's always something, right? That's what it comes down to. Yeah, you can keep saying their reasons, but they start to after so long they start to sound like excuses, not reasons.
Well, they just need to kill their horror movie villain of the Chiefs in the playoffs, or have somebody else do it for them.
Yeah, or have the Chiefs not make the playoffs, which they're sitting on the outside looking in right now.
Yep. That roster needs to get healthy. For the Chiefs to make.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to be. I love the Chiefs. You know, as I said, as I've always said, they're my second favorite team. But if that's what it takes, if they're missing the playoffs is what it takes for the Bills to win, I'm willing to. They've won enough. The Chiefs have won enough. I'm willing to be a Bo Nix fan somehow, miraculously, for him to beat the Chiefs somehow. If they can keep the Chiefs out of the playoffs, I would be all for it.
On Nix this year, and I spent money on wide receivers, which has paid off for me so far.
But not last
last
week.
2 games have made me so nervous.
Yeah, I told you. What did I say? He's basically Tim Tebow with in that game.
He's better than Tebow ever dreamed of being as an NFL quarterback. But God, he was awful the other night.
Yeah,
but,
I was like, he's Tim Tebow with less running, and that ain't gonna cut it. He's got to get better. And Peyton's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer, so he's got. And I think it's a testament to what he's done, right?
But Peyton's, despite the fact that he cheated to win the Super Bowl, the Vikings should have won.
Yeah,
and the Vikings should have won that Super Bowl and won the NFC Championship game, and then beaten the Colts into submission. But, whatever, it happens. I'm not bitter about it.
All right. Well, we are overtime once again, but here we go. The games have kicked off. Everything else.
Chicago.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the football. Who do your Vikings play this week?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens, the resurgent Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. I think I can see that being a shootout. J.J. McCarthy, again, hasn't played a whole lot, but he looked good last week. He looked good last week. And line holds up. And when you've got Justin Jefferson on one side and Jordan Addison on the other side, I mean, it makes the job of the quarterback a lot easier having those guys.
When you got 2 guys who always beat their man.
Yep. All right, man. Shep, always a pleasure. We'll catch you next week.
All right, man. Later.
Thank you, sir. All right, that was Shep, and you've been listening to the Sports Spotlight. This is Rizwan signing off. Enjoy your football. Enjoy the rest of your week. You can catch me Wednesday night at 9 p.m. with Chandni Rate, and again here with the Sports Spotlight next Sunday at 10 a.m. Until then, peace out.
You are listening to Radio Azad, where your voice matters. Entertain,